Athens, Georgia. Athens, Georgia is an interesting place because it is rich in music history, and that's one of the reasons that's kind of drawn us to go there. A couple of bands of note that came out of Athens is a band called R.E.M, and another band that originated there was the band the B-52's. So we're going to go there and see if we can find some of the landmarks that are specific to these particular bands. There's a Trestle bridge, which is the first place we're going to, that was on the cover of the R.E.M album Murmur, and that's going to be the first place we're going to stop. And then we're going to go to a steeple. We're going to go visit a restaurant, a soul food restaurant, where R.E.M took one of their album's names from. And we're going to try to find some of the landmarks too, where the B-52's got their origins. Yeah, so we'll be there. It's about 20 miles from here, and we'll be there shortly. Right now we've just arrived at the R.E.M Murmur Trestle Bridge. And this was an old railroad trestle bridge that came through Athens, Georgia, and it was actually featured on the back cover of R.E.M's Murmur album. We're just reading online that this land here was originally sold to some developers who wanted to tear the bridge down, but people who lived in Athens wanted to save it, and they actually spent millions of dollars to buy the land back so that they could save this bridge as a historical landmark in Athens, and also to honor the the R.E.M cover. There's some mud here. To honor this R.E.M cover. And so here it is. I think the photo was taken from the other side of the bridge, so we'll have to go over there and see if we can get a photo like it's pictured on the back of the album cover. Goes over this little creek here. I don't know what the name of the creek is. It doesn't say. Let's see if I can find out. We are arriving at the steeple of a church that burnt down. Well, it was originally a church, St. Mary's Church, and then it got turned into, what was it after St. Mary's? Was it I think it was a house, like people were living in it. But anyways, it was a church. And then they turned it into a concert venue, and the concert venue burnt down. Did it burn? It burnt down, right? The concert venue burnt down, and the only thing that was left standing was this steeple here. And here again, the people of Athens wanted to keep this a landmark because this was the very first place that R.E.M ever played a concert, was at this well, what was the church. This is what's left, is just this steeple, which is kind of cool. I don't know if there's any kind of a plaque or any kind of thing commemorating it here, but it looks like they did some repairs to it, most likely to keep it from falling over. It's kind of interesting that there is a door there with a lock on it, staircase, or a couple of steps up to the door, but there's no staircase going to it. You see right there, it says R.E.M Pop Song 79. It's kind of fascinating to me that, that the city of Athens, I mean, it's very rich in the musical history, and it's respectable that they are preserving these things. So it's pretty cool to be able to come and see, these old relics like this R.E.M played their first concert. I like this. This is neat. So this place is called Weaver D's Delicious Fine Foods. It is a soul food restaurant. And this is actually, the sign where you see it says Weaver D's Delicious Fine Foods, and then in quotations below it says automatic for the people. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but R.E.M actually took the name of one of their albums from this sign. I guess they came into the restaurant and asked the owner if it was okay to use automatic for the people as the name of their album, and they said it was okay, and there it is. So that is that's another landmark here in Athens that is tied to the band R.E.M. Kind of interesting. Apparently you can park overnight here for $5. It's kind of weird, but here is the 40 Watt Club. This is a famous music venue here in Athens, Georgia. Many bands played here, including R.E.M, including the B-52's, the Drive-By Truckers. I think I read Widespread Panic has played here. It has been an icon here for, you know, the past 45 or so years, and has hosted just so many different concerts. It's a very famous place. Unfortunately, you know, it's closed down due to the pandemic, obviously, at least temporarily anyway. But one of these days we hope to come back and are able to maybe see a concert here. But this is it looks like it would be a really fun place to come see a show. It's definitely this throwback to the old punk days, these underground clubs we used to go to in Sacramento. So one of these days we tried to see if we can get in. Chris called was it the owner?
Yeah, I just Facebook messaged him.
Facebook messaged the owner to see if maybe they could let us come in and just take a look, but he never got back to us, so we tried. But one of these days we'll be here. Destination that we're coming to is Wuxtree Records. Wuxtree Records is where it's Peter, right?
Yeah.
Peter Buck, who was one of the original founding members of R.E.M, and Michael Stipe met. Looks like Peter Buck worked here, and Michael Stipe would come in. He was going to the University of Georgia here, and would come in here and frequent this place, and that's how they met. And then, you know, they started R.E.M from meeting at this store. So we're gonna go in, we're gonna take a look at some of the records, maybe buy a few, and check it out. This is the Luxley Records. This is the inside of it. Coming in here just to check it out. I don't know if I'm going to be able to use any of this footage based on the fact that there's some music playing, but I think if my voice covers it up enough, we should be okay. But again, this is the place where Peter Buck worked and where he met Michael Stipe. This is a pretty historic record store here in Athens, Georgia. So very cool place. Take a look at here. I like it. We've read that in the song Love Shack, when they say tin roof rusted, that it means that someone is pregnant. But I'm not sure that's true. As we travel through Georgia and in the past and in today, tin roofs seem to be a very popular style of roof in a lot of these houses and a lot of these farms and stuff like that, and so many of them are just rusted. So it's kind of funny to drive through these areas, you know, so close to where the B-52 started, and see all these rusty tin roofs and not think that that's where that originated from. But you never know. Maybe it's maybe it means both. This is the house right here where the B-52's played their very first concert. Right here in this greenhouse. That's where the B-52's played their first show.
Pretty cool.
So one of the places that we wanted to visit when we came here was this place called the Tree That Owns Itself. And from what I read, as the story goes, the guy who kind of made this place, he loved this tree so much that he did not want anything bad to happen to it. So he bought the land around it and then deeded the land to the tree itself. So the tree literally owns itself. His name is William Jackson. Here's the tree. A neat old tree. The sign says, "For and in consideration of the great love I bear this tree and the great desire I have for its protection for all time, I convey entire possession of itself and all land within 8 feet of the tree on all sides. William H. Jackson." So he actually bought this land and deeded the land to the tree. The tree that owns itself. Pretty cool. Let's see, this sign here says, "The tree that owns itself, deeded to itself by Colonel William H. Jackson, 1832. This scion of the original tree was planted by the Junior Ladies Garden, 1948. National Registration of Historic Places, 1975. Athens Historical Landmark, 1988. Looks like there's another little plaque or something over here. I'm curious to see what this says. That looks like a gravestone. William H. Jackson. I wonder if he's buried here too. I didn't read anything about that, but that's kind of fascinating that there's a headstone here. Unless maybe that's not a headstone, maybe that was the original. Oh, it is. It's just, it says the same thing that it said on the other side. It's just a really old version of it. It's probably the original one. Well, we have finished our day in Athens. We are on our way home, and we picked up some good records.
I got a necklace.
Christy got a new necklace.
Which is, oh,
I see it. Pretty new necklace.
yes.
A new necklace, and they're very good about social distancing here. The stores that you went into, they enforced mask wearing. We went into two stores. They enforced mask wearing. There wasn't hardly really anybody in the stores, so it was good. We didn't really have to, dealing with people. But one of the record store we went into, the first thing that the guy said when we walked in the door is, thank you for wearing a mask. There's sanitizer. Please sanitize your hands before you come into the place. And so, with that, we were kind of confident that they were doing well with the social distancing and the sanitation and that sort of thing. That was the record store that we went into where Peter Buck and Michael Stipe had met. And I bought a record there, so.
But we didn't buy an R.E.M record there.
We didn't buy an R.E.M record because I couldn't find a good R.E.M record. And really the main B-52's record I wanted to buy was the original one, and none of the stores had it.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's not true. That one store had it, but it was $50. And
we learned of a new band that we may like called Of Montreal. So we're gonna go home and listen to them, and they're from Athens.
What kind of music is it?
It's a kind of like funky, and I guess that after COVID, if you go see them in concert, they wear like a lot of really funny outfits and put on a really cool show. And I guess they're really famous and well known in Athens. So we're gonna check them out when we get home.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have to. I saw some of their records.
Did you? I didn't see any.
Yeah, I saw some of their records, but I didn't. I didn't know who they were, so I didn't think too much about it. But I guess we can check them out when we get home. But anyways, it was an all over good day. Lots of cool places to go visit, and definitely looking forward to coming back here once the pandemic has calmed a bit, or a vaccine takes hold, if we ever get that.
Approaching a railroad crossing.
And we'll definitely be back. We like it here.